Hey guys, it's David with Geeks and Jocks, and this channel we talk everything about Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic TCG related news. In this episode, we're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes Commander players make. Before we go into the episode, we're going to remind you we do want to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you want to comment, like, share this video. Also, if you want to subscribe, so if you haven't done so already, that would be greatly appreciated. So let's jump into the video. So the 5 most common mistakes that Commander players make, as of my opinion. Also, they are not in any particular order, the most common mistakes I see. I have made these mistakes a bunch, so that's why I was able to recognize what the mistakes I was making and make my Commander decks just better decks. So one of the first mistakes that I see, like I said, they're not in order, but one of the first mistakes I see a bunch is that your commander is not king. Your commander should be and is the most important piece on your commander deck. Hence, commander deck. Your commander will tell you what is the strategy you need to follow. Those 99 cards should be support for this commander and helping your commander to do what it wants to do. Let's take, for example, Corvold, who wants to sacrifice a bunch, and it will draw cards and it will gain power by sacrificing cards. So the most of your 99 should be cards that do something when they either get sacrificed, die, or that will let you sacrifice other permanents, such as fetch lands and cards that inherently sacrifice cards or that give you payouts for sacrificing cards. Let's say, for another example, Vorinclex. It's a commander that wants to put counters. So your 99 should have the ability to give you payout or the ability to create counters, +1/+1 counters or any type of counters for your Vorinclex deck. Meaning that your commander will be most effective because your 99 support your commander itself. Going to the next mistake that I see most of the players make is that they try to do a lot of things at once. I'm to blame for this mistake as well. Like I said, I was trying to do all the combos that I could, and like I said, not really taking into account that my commander is the most important part of my commander deck. Like I said, you don't want to have a lot of infinite combos. You do want to have some way to win, but you want to have and be more optimized to use your commander as your key piece. And maybe a part of the combo should be your commander being in play, such as one commander that is very popular, such as Joria, the Weatherlight Captain, which is a commander that lets you cast historic spells and draw cards, meaning that you will cast artifacts or historic spells and you will be drawing cards. So these are two powerful, very powerful, because a lot of artifacts are very low cost. So this is a very powerful engine, and your commander becomes part of your strategy, right? So like I said, doing too many things at once, trying to put infinite combos where you shouldn't be really focusing on that. Some commanders are very focused on outplaying your opponent, not precisely going infinite combos, and you gotta realize that. You gotta realize what type of commander is going to be your commander, and this is very important because you basically have a choice on what do you want your commander to be. And if you just focus your commander, I bet you're gonna start doing a lot better than if you try to do as many things as you can. Third mistake is the mana base. I've seen people play mana bases very, very, very wrong. I am also to blame on this mistake. I play a 5-color Scion of the Earth Dragon deck, which is a 5-color deck, and I was playing 2-color lands. In a 5-color deck, you obviously want to have tri-lands, which give you 3 colors. Yeah, it's a bit slower. However, you want to be able to either have a land that produces all colors or a land that produces the most colors it can. However, you cannot forget about putting basic lands. A lot of the fetch lands or a lot of the fetching abilities when you're ramping only let you bring out basic lands, and you do want to have targets for those and play around cards such as Blood Moon, Back to Basics, or Magus of the Moon that will only that will take away the ability of non-basic lands. So if you keep this in mind, and when you're playing 5 colors, you actually have lands that help you out instead of just because everybody plays 2 colors or shock lands or whatever, fast lands or whatever they're playing. That doesn't mean you have to play those. You can play those in other decks. And also, within the same mistake of the mana base, I've seen people that put either too many or too little lands. If you're playing a lands matter deck, you should be playing in the higher ups of 30, like 38, 39 lands. If you're playing a monocolor deck, you should be playing in the lower side of 30s, which is like 30, 32, 33 lands, because you're always gonna be hitting the colors that you need. But if you're playing a higher requirement, which is like a 5-color mana base, then you need to be playing a lot of ramp spells. Whereas if you're playing a 1-color commander, monocolor commander, you only have to use very little lands. However, this is voided if you're playing a lands matter deck, even though it's monocolored. If your lands matter, for like example Valakut or other cards that matter, even though they're not in green, like a ramping color, then yeah, you should play more lands. It all depends on what you're trying to do. What is your strategy to win the commander game, right? So another problem I see, it's not enough spot removal. I've seen commander players play no spot removal and only focus on board wipes. This is not very good because board wipes, you have to spend a lot of mana for them. Usually they come in bicolors or sometimes 3 or more color requirements. It's harder to play them and you're affecting the whole board. Sometimes you just want to get rid of one threat, and that's where spot removal comes into play. All colors have spot removal of some sort. Green will fight one of your creatures with one of their creatures, but green usually has most creatures. White will exile. Blue will make it go back into your hand, or simply put it back into the deck, which is not the best type of removal. However, if you bounce it back, then you can later counter it. It is blue after all. Red will just deal damage to it and make it go away, and black will just exile or just like cards like Murder that just destroy the creature on sight. And all of those have also combinations that will help you to get rid of a threat. But if you do not play enough spot removal, then you're doing yourself a great disservice because you're not fast. You need to be, sometimes you need to be fast in playing a 1 CMC spot removal, such as Path to Exile, such as Unsummon. In black, there's cards like Fatal Push, and so on and so forth. So not having spot removal, at least I would say, well, at least 5 pieces of spot removal will be just fine. But combining it with a higher, board 5, another 5 board wipes will be just fine as well. And the last mistake that I see commander players make is that they do not have a win con in their deck. This guy, I was that guy. I had no way of winning on one of my stacks decks. I was playing the Revi stacks, and the game just dragged on forever. You don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be not having a win con in your deck. If your strategy is to control the pod, you can do it. You can definitely do it and it'll be fun. But if you do not have a win con, games drag on forever. If somebody got stuck with a bad hand, they're going to be stuck with a bad hand for a long commander game. The best thing is just to win as fast as you can, because you can play again and people will more likely play again with a guy that won fast, because it's chance. Sometimes you win, sometimes you get a bad hand, rather than play and do somewhat good against a player that has no win cons and just drags the game on forever. So don't be that guy. Don't drag the games Don't drag the games on forever. Don't be too political. Yeah, it's fun to be political in Commander, but at the end of the day, somebody has to win, somebody has to lose, and we need to move to the next game. It's better if you play more games than if you drag a game on forever. Those were my 5 little mistakes that I've seen the most in Commander players, that I made myself as well while learning to play Commander and playing Commander. And that was it for today's video. I do want to remind you that we do want to get to 1,000 subscribers. If you can comment, like, share this video. Also, if you want to subscribe, so if you haven't done so already, that would be greatly appreciated. We also want to thank our sponsors, Game Inc. and Dex. Both are linked in the description of this video. That is it for today's video, and we'll see you in the next one.